Oh, crap. Hold on 1 second.
One day I'll get this right.
There we are.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, everybody. That was a real awkward start, wasn't it? Play it up for laughs and for real because I can't do this right. What's going on, everybody? Fans and film fandom and video game fandom, wherever you may be and however you're watching and or listening. We appreciate you being here and thank you for giving us just a little bit of your time. And holy crap, have we got some stuff to talk about. This is The Harsh Truth, and I am obviously not Frank. So you're going to be here with me and also Brooding Gamer. We had something kind of, him down there. We had some big news in the last couple days, namely Fallout, if you saw from the intro and thumbnail and the title, all that jazz. But we also got something a little extra. We got a little bit of Superman action going on. So we'll get to the nuclear winter here in a second. But like I said, we'll start with Superman. And who better to sit here and talk to me about video games and superheroes other than the park manager himself? It's the Dinosaur Man. It's Brooding Gamer.
Park
How are
manager.
you this evening?
I like that. I like that.
I worked on that one for a minute, actually.
I like that. That was good. I got to change my name to Park Manager now. Damn.
You need a badge. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you? I don't know. It was weird. Like some other guy had the show. I think we had a broadcast issue for a second there. It must have been broadcasting somewhere else by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, if you're here now, and that's what matters. I did not do... Oh, crap. I didn't do any of the social media stuff. I tell you people every week that I'm terrible at this kind of thing. Oh, no, there it is. Look at that. Frank coming through on the Twitters. Okay.
There we are.
We appreciate you. I can't be full screen. I have things to do. Crap. All right. But like I said, we're here to talk about the wonderful news that we have. Season 2 has wrapped, and we now have a date in sight. Luckily, it is this year. And also in bonus news, I guess their luck skill was a little higher than usual, but we also have a season 3 greenlit. So,
woohoo!
Holy crap, exciting stuff. But like I said, first we have Superman. I don't really know where to go with this because that got added in the 11th hour. But that's about it.
Picture.
Isn't it nice?
My friend ready to go out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, the first day you get to the con, you're all happy. You think it's gonna be a great time, and then by the end of it, you kind of you look like that by the end, honestly.
Ooh, it's running and crying,
screaming. Yeah, yeah, but we that's a better one right there.
Dude, that's a good one.
Yeah, so we got a little bit longer Superman trailer, opening up with Lois Lane giving Superman, aka Clark Kent. I mean, I'm assuming she knows who he is, obviously, in both senses of the term. Kind of hitting him with the hard questions, you know what I mean? Like the harsh truth, I guess you could say. It's like it's not really, it's not like it's coming from her. It's just like these are things that are going to come up, and people are going to ask these kind of questions, and like, what do you do with that? This is
definitely not a Superman that is liked right now. Like you can tell this is definitely the early Superman.
Because it's like, what do you do? I mean, like, you're just, the classic story of like, you're just this being that came from another planet, raised, the right way to do good, truth, justice in the American way. And he's doing his thing. And it's also like, people just kind of just aren't feeling it. They're like, hey, you sure you want to be trying to deal with like international wars and stuff like that? I mean, I like this shot because I think that's kind of what we needed to get back to was wearing underwear on the outside a regular thing again. There's a better, yeah. They go on the outside, damn it. But getting back to classic Superman, right? Him saving people. That's what it's all about.
And then doing the OG theme. I like the OG theme. It's been too long since we've heard that, and it's good to hear that again. It's a little audio tuned and everything, but it's good to hear it. It's no Kevin Spacey going wrong.
Wrong.
None of that. But I mean, he made a good Lex Luthor. Despite the bullshit that went down with all that. Kevin Spacey is a damn good actor. He made a damn good Lex Luthor. So that's the problem, is we keep getting all these youngins that are like, I'm Lex Luthor. No, you're just like, it's better. Anything's better than Zombieland boy, but Jesus Christ.
I was like, yeah, we Columbus from Zombieland.
Oh my god.
That was a little too much.
We definitely got to see a lot more in this trailer, though. We got to see Kaiju, which we've not seen. Yep. I think his name is just straight up Kaiju. Or the Kaiju. I don't know. They weren't very... if anybody knows in the comments, by all means, let me know. But we got to see that. We got to see more. We actually got to see... what I don't know his name. The Green Lantern.
Guy Gardner.
Yes, Guy Gardner. I was like, something green? I don't know.
One of the many Green Lanterns.
Guy Gardner. We got to see Hawkman.
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. He looks interesting. And
he looks cool.
Of course, my boy, Crypto. Got to get Crypto in there. The breed of dog is throwing me off because it's definitely not what Crypto is. But, I mean, it's cute. I'm happy.
No, I was going to say, right there, let's be honest. We know who the real hero of this movie is. It's Crypto.
It's not Superman. It's Super Good Boy.
Like, he is the superest and the goodest of all boys.
Because there's like a shot of him laying on his bed, and she's like, "You've got a dog," and he's like, it's just like laying there in its tails. I'm like, see, that is right there, the shot that makes it. But I don't know. I like it that Crypto. Lois is hitting him with the hard questions and putting him in a spot where it's like, we're actually seeing a side where he's really trying to defend himself. I'm not a DC fan. I'm not a Superman fan, but I am excited to see that.
Oh, okay, well, I'm kicking you. Goodbye. No.
Goodbye. Okay. It looks good. I'm actually intrigued to see this, and I think it's going to be a good one. And of course, they're kind of pulling an MCU where instead of just focusing on one hero at a time, because that seemed to be like the big issue. It was like when it was Snyder. It
was a Snyder cut, yeah.
Everything was just like, okay, if it's a Superman movie, it's only Superman and only Superman characters. That's it.
Oh, like Man of Steel and shit, yeah.
Yeah, and Batman,
Man of Steel was amazing.
Only Batman characters. No mention of other characters. Okay, well, you're kind of defeating the purpose. But, they're kind of taking, with James Gunn being in, is it James Gunn in control now?
James Gunn, yeah.
Is he behind the gunner's seat? He's now kind of like, okay, so yes, it's Superman movie, but there are other characters in there as well, so let's bring them in there as well, but not make it like a whole Justice League movie. So I'm excited to see it. I think the trailer made it look a little bit better than the first one did. I know some people are not a big fan of it because they're like, I've heard things go as far as like Lois Lane's busting his balls. I'm like, that's reporter. I don't know. That's what a reporter does. They bust.
She's always been like that. But
that's also, every version of usually we get some pretty strong female roles for. I don't know why I say female roles like they're ever going to do a Lois Lane. They better fucking not. But
that's what you got. What's his name for? The young reporter, the guy.
Yes. I don't know. I'm eager to see it though. I think it looks like a good one. We finally got to see I almost said Uncle Ben. We got to see Superman's uncle, which of course is the guy from The Walking Dead. I know he's been in other things, but I remember him as
Otis.
Otis
from Walking Dead.
Yeah. Yep. I was interested when I saw him as his uncle. I'm like, really? Okay. Now, I would not have expected him.
Is he his uncle or is he Pa Kent?
Huh?
Is he Pa Kent or is he his uncle? Well, I guess he's already Superman. Is he maybe...
Is there multiples? I just thought there was uncle and aunt. I didn't know there was a...
No, I thought it was Ma and Pa Kent. I thought that's who he was. That's who
Why am I saying
raises
uncle?
him.
Now ignore me. Don't. No, I don't know where the hell I'm going with uncle. It's his mom and dad, his adopted mom and dad.
The loss of Uncle Ben still hurts us all. Okay, I understand.
With great power comes great bullshit. Yeah, no, with his father, adopted father. Yeah, I was just. It was interesting seeing him in there as that role, but I think he'll actually do pretty good. Now, I will admit, I don't know how I feel about this particular Superman. I don't know. There's something about him, like in the preview, he like went in for a hug, and to me, it was just like super awkward. Like, and that was just the preview of the movie. Like, he was like, and hug scene. I'll just get it over with. Boom, go in for a hug. I was like, okay, that seemed odd. Maybe when we see him in actual action, he'll do a little bit better.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, I caught the fact that not only do we have the original 70s Superman theme, the font that we're using for it is also from like the original movie from the 70s. And his suit looks very akin to the one that Christopher Reeve wore. Obviously, the S is different, but like the little yellow S on the back in the middle of the cape. Like I said, the brighter blue and then the red with the yellow. Like, so I'm wondering, I was like, why are we leaning so heavily into the Christopher Reeves thing? Because I'm like, is this maybe kind of like how
Brandon, probably the best Superman we've ever had?
True. Yeah, Christopher Reeves is obviously top of the mountain. But I'm saying, like, is it kind of like the Brandon Routh thing, like with Superman Returns, where that was technically the sequel to, like, he was, quote, Chris Reeves' Superman coming back, like, continuing that story? I'm like, is this maybe again doing that? Or is this... I don't know, because I'm like, you catch the subtle things like that where I'm like, but why would we be doing that so heavily in these trailers if that's not maybe where we're going to some degree? I mean, obviously, it kind of looks like it's more modern day, but still... I mean, he's a mortal being from another planet. So I mean, whatever. So I think it'll be cool. And that's the GOAT. It's Crypto. Okay, now that we've we'll take the kryptonite out of our pants and we'll move right along from kryptonite to the other glowing green rock of plutonium. Uranium, whatever. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. We need to, you know what? This world would power a DeLorean for a long time. I'll tell you what. Anyway, so what we're all here for is, of course, talking about Fallout on Amazon Prime. I'm also realizing here I am apparently going to freeball this because I forgot to do the other important part, which was have notes. But it's okay because it's all up here.
Yep.
I promise.
You've got the one trailer, and I've got that like little extended one in my head, so we're all good.
Yeah. So I guess maybe the thing to do is open a tab. Open a tab. Actually, speaking of opening a tab, I was gonna say, everybody get your Nuka-Colas out, get ready because we're gonna dive right in.
Sarsaparilla. There we go.
There you go. Did you get a blue star cap? Collect a prize if you get all 50.
I don't know. Does that one get me in any? Where we at? Does that one get me in anywhere?
If there's like radiated shark, oh god, if there's radiated sharks, man, like something like a Far Harbor,
dude.
4.
They missed a chance with that one.
They really did.
Dude, there was a lot to unpack in just that little second, like minute long, if that, like. There has been so.
Go ahead and vet. I'm looking for stuff. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, what I was going to say is there's been a lot of footage that has been leaked and shown online and everything already, as showing New Vegas as the different stages of Vegas is what I'm calling it. There's a YouTuber by the name of Oxhorn. Very good YouTuber, covers a lot of Fallout content. And he did a video just recently going over all these like leaks that have been online. And it's somebody, and these group of people were following the production of Fallout Season 2. I don't know where they're filming at. It may actually be California. But where they're at with the building process and the set. And it was cool to see that people they built the set, and then they're showing like a lot of the buildings look completely different. They're like putting like I think it was like called Top Spot. Is like the guy said it looked like it was being built in a Spirit Halloween, which it does. But then you see the actual casino in the game, and it's like this giant like UFO shaped building, and they're really taking creative differences here with that one. But they built New Vegas pretty much brand new, and then you can tell that it wasn't like multiple sets. It was one set. They filmed it. They're gonna have a past scene, probably with the Ghouls character, Goggins, and that like it was like within a week it looked destroyed, like it was regular New Vegas how we know it, and then not even a week later on set again, people who live in the neighboring area were given a piece of paper. They were taped to their door saying, "Here's what's happening." It was for project something else. It wasn't Fallout, obviously. But the O in the title still had the lightning bolt or the bolt going through it, which was funny. But they talked about all that, there's going to be fireballs that are going to be launched in the air that are going to be at least so many feet in the air. You're going to be hearing a lot of screaming, a lot of gunfire, you're going to see people with guns. Please do not panic. We are filming for this movie or this series, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, they started showing pictures. Now, this is where I start fangirling. Pictures of New Vegas after it has been through some major shit. We don't know what's happened. However, they showed the front doors of the Lucky 38, and the Lucky 38 looked like a velociraptor had gone haywire on the door. So claw marks all over the place. And then another scene was, or bit of photos were found of some crew carrying around a solid black foam head of a Deathclaw. So I am happy to report that we are 100% getting a Deathclaw in Fallout Season 2. Very happy about that. I'd be very happy if it was like a reoccurring villain. That would make me even happier. But unfortunately, we're just going to be getting Father and his lame ass. But yeah, I'm very excited. The footage that they shown, and then we got this little short trailer of the Ghoul and Dogmeat and Lucy going and walking through the desert, and then seeing New Vegas off in the distance. So very excited. A little bit of footage that they've given before that I had seen. I don't think Jeremy had seen it yet. Going over the Ghoul post-war. I can't remember his name before he became the Ghoul. Him doing 3 commercials, one being for Nuka-Cola, and I can report that he does not like the taste of Nuka-Cola. He makes that face clear. Doing a commercial for, what was it, suntan lotion? So that's funny. It's probably going to be like, it helps fight off nuclear blast or whatever, which clearly didn't work for him. And going over an ad, he does another commercial going over an ad for the Lucky 38. So that's really cool. So we are definitely going to be focusing way more on New Vegas than what we thought we were going to be. Now, where New Vegas is going to be, like what New Vegas are we going to be dealing with? Are we dealing with one that's related to the game? Is House going to be involved? I mean, if the Lucky 38 is there and so is Vault 21, excuse me, House is going to be referenced or at least in the show somehow, which means that we're getting our own version. It's not like canon to the games or anything, which I don't think they intended on the games being canon to the series. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what we're here to talk about, because that's that's something that I know. That's the them tickling everybody's balls, like I said that one week. This is just a cool shot. We can just appreciate this for a second. Whoever made this, like New Vegas at sunset is really killer. But yeah, like this with that ending with, yeah. God damn it, Paul Atreides, what's your problem? That's a deep cut right there. I totally forgot he was Paul Atreides in the original Dune back in the 80s, which is pretty awesome, honestly. Yeah, but this it ends with him going to New Vegas, which does bring up a lot of questions as to what's going on. So, yeah, I was going to start now that I've got my thing up. I know where do you say it at? Frank said, yeah, right there. I said notes are for bitches, but you write the notes every week, and I trust you with that. So apparently, I don't know. I'm doing my best. Okay. So I'm just gonna do what Frank does, and that's the thumbnail. Good God. Are you winning, son? All right. Anyway, so we'll just kind of go over the show here for a second. So Fallout is an American post-apocalyptic drama television series created by Graham Wagner and Geneva Robertson Dorwet. I'm sure I wrecked that name. For Amazon Prime Video, based on the role-playing video game franchise created by Tim Kaine and Leonard Boyarsky. I almost said Boyardee. You gotta eat what you gotta eat in the apocalypse, man. The series stars Ella Purnell, Aaron Moten, Kyle MacLachlan, Moses Aris, Zelia Mendez-Jones, and of course Walton Goggins. Fallout premiered on Prime Video on April 10th, 2024. The series received generally positive reviews with praise for all the performances, particularly Ella Purnell, Aaron Moten, and Walton Goggins, of course, are three main stars there on the couch. And obviously, come on, Dog Meat. He's always the best.
The only good boy.
Right. Writing, visuals, and production design, and faithfulness to the source material, which I agree with. Later that month, the series was renewed for a second season, which is set to premiere in December of 2025, which is the news we just got this week, which is awesome. In May of 2025, ahead of the second season's premiere, the series was already renewed for a third season, as I had mentioned. Yeah. Fallout, and as if it doesn't need any more praise, was also nominated for 17 primary Emmy Awards, which is amazing, including Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series for Goggins. Hell yes. So, I think that's pretty well on the nose. What did you think of the series? Did for being original, but staying within the rules of the game, do you think it did that pretty well?
I loved every second of it. There were so many moments that I think I spent more time just looking in the background of everything when she's walking through that little, I want to call it oh my God, Megaton.
We're not in Megaton yet. That's the other side of the country.
I was like, I'm going to call this Megaton because it looks like that.
That's the other side of the country. That's DC.
Their version of it. But I was just I spent 90% of the time just looking in the background, paying attention to all the little things that was back there. Because I mean, it was every bit of it was just. It's kind of like with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. If you're a fan of Five Nights, you're going to go in there and you're going to be like, hey, that's that. Oh my God, there's that. Oh, and everything.
I understand that.
One giant Easter egg being thrown in your face. And that's what this was. Now, there was a few things that I'm like, oh, okay. They had their own little creativeness with it, with the gulper, with having it be a big axolotl with all the weird fingers in its mouth.
Fingers.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just every bit of it. It was at first I was like, okay, we're gonna be following all these characters. We've got three main characters, technically four if you want to count Dogmeat, because even Dogmeat got his own segment. Boom. It just involved some nerdy dude.
Yeah, the doctor. I think what was his name?
The guy from Lost.
Yeah, I'm trying to Maximus. Wilzig.
Yes. It was a weird name. I remember that. But I was like, that was my one thing is I'm like, I'm going to get more and more bored just trying to figure out which, who am I following? Who's the main character? Well, technically we've got four main characters. We're following the different story. Each episode there was where I want to say episode 1, they did Lucy, Maximus,
Lucy,
the Ghoul. Did I say Lucy?
Yeah, no, I'm like, yeah, you did. They did Lucy.
Did I say
Max?
Did I say the right name again?
The Ghoul, yeah.
And then you even had Dogmeat, which they weren't. You didn't really know who they were following. They just put the doctor, but it was dog meat. Let's be honest, or whatever number his number was. That I hate
CX404.
seeing that they were just like making these dogs specifically to be companions for whatever, but if they didn't meet the right size or weight or whatever, just throw it in the incinerator. I'm like, I don't like that at all. Like, no,
we don't like that.
No way. And then he ended up like cheating the system by like, oh, I'm just gonna, put this puppy in my pocket. I'm like, that's probably what 90% of us would have done. But I enjoyed how each story, like you'd sit there and you're like, I know by the end of this they're all going to be coming together, but how the hell is this going to happen? And it was fun seeing each character end up coming together. The only thing about the show that I was not a big fan of was the relationship between Lucy and Maximus. It
was weird.
I don't understand. He's my least favorite character. I don't know.
I do have a mild defense for that because I'm obviously also. God damn it! I'm trying to type. I think that the reason, because to be fair, with all these characters, and now I can use these thumbnails finally. Like with Lucy, I think they all represent kind of how we all play this game in certain points of our lives. Like, I want to believe that like Lucy's like, this is your first time playing the game, and it's like, yeah, this is fun. Like, I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to be I'm going to do the right thing, and then
I'm not going to commit any crimes this entire playthrough.
Yeah, I'm going to do a pacifist playthrough, which is possible, but also a pain in the absolute ass. And to be fair, you kind of end up looking like this by the end of it.
I look like that after the first 20 minutes. What are you talking about?
That's what I mean. You realize really quickly. Yeah, I was like, she kind of realizes real quick that like the way of the vault life isn't really gonna fly out here in the apocalypse, because they do look at vault dwellers in a weird way, because that's that lady in the junkyard. I wish I had a picture of her. Was like my favorite character, because she's like, oh shit, you're one of them vault dwellers. She starts laughing. She's like, I thought you dumbasses were dead. I'm like,
I liked her character.
She was amazing. I was like, yeah, that's kind of fair. I mean, I don't know what kind of stories they hear up on top of the surface about the vault dwellers, because that's a whole podcast in itself. If we want to talk about the different vaults and the experiments they did,
gosh, yeah,
on people, because of course, a government funded company like Vault Tech would never do something like that to people. It would never do that. So yeah, but then you get someone like Max, who it's like, I think because his whole thing, I think my defense of him was like, again, I was nerding out about the game, and I was thinking that I'm like, I feel like I'm thinking of stats, right? If we all know about the special stats, I'm like, either his intelligence or
he traded every perk he had for luck.
I was like, he had to have had a lot of luck. I think his intelligence wasn't super high, but I also said, like, now we start going into the perks of the video game, I was like, this dude 100% has the idiot savant perk. I tell you, he does anything and
100%.
anything stupid, and he gets like experience for it. Like something good happens for him. So like when I start bringing in the special stats, like I think someone did divvy it out once, and I wish I had that picture. They did Lucy, Max, and the Ghoul. I was like, I kind of understand your character now, because I'm like, if I think about it in terms of that, it kind of helps, make it make sense. But yeah, I mean, come on, to be fair, you see a big set of, T60 power armor like that and a big assault rifle with a fucking drum mag, I'm like, I'm taking that the first chance I can get. So I don't blame the guy, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
He just wants to be, part of the Brotherhood, and, he just kind of wanted to be accepted in it. So, I mean, hey, when your paladin dies, I mean, he just says, screw it, I'm going to take up the mantle.
I have not laughed so loud.
I think I know what you're going to say.
When that paladin was running from the fucking
the Yaogwai.
Mogwai? Wow.
The Yaogwai, yeah.
Yeah, some Y.
That is a very accurate response.
Like, that is 100% all of us playing any.
That's how you play.
Come up against a Death Claw, Super Mutant, anything, and you're just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And the
I'm
deep
panicking,
voice
trying to
made it even
reload.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
And then, of course, you have probably, obviously, the best character, the coolest goddamn character in this series of the Ghoul, played by Walton Goggins. Now, I'm like, now he is what I'm pretty sure all of us become eventually playing Fallout. I'm like, you just become like foul mouth, no shit taken gunslinger. And this is a personal choice. I mean, I'm a weird straight edge when I play these games. I actually don't mess with any of the drugs to try and help
Same.
different stats. I don't know. I don't really see the point because I'm like, that's just more crap I got to carry, more crap I got to keep track of. I mean, I know the game keeps track of it. Your Pit-Boy will tell you, like, oh, your jet has worn off. The Psycho has worn off. Like, yeah, okay.
Well, something
But I can just as easily like shoot somebody in the noggin without having to inject a needle into my arm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
want
I'm
to
like,
make
I can
one
do
point that, like, the weirdest thing, and I really wish the games would have allowed this, is that you could play as a ghoul. Because
Yes.
there's mods, but believe it or not, the first game to ever allow us to actually play a Fallout game as a ghoul is Fallout 76.
76.
And I have to think that is probably one of the coolest features that they actually, it's like, you know what are the chances that, what if you were a ghoul and you come out and people react to you, you still sound the same. Because I think this was probably the first Fallout where the voices actually kind of sound more human than ghoul. Unlike the old games where it was like,
hey, smooth skin.
If you want to. Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
Gotta take multiple takes to do that shit. But I think it was cool that they finally just like that makes me want to install 76 back on my console just so I could actually be like, I'm interested to try this out. But I don't know. I try 76, and while it looks like such a beautiful game, it's definitely something I would have more fun with friends. So I mean, if you and Frank ever want to get into it, we could do our own little 76 and 25 or whatever, like how that's working these days. But it's cool. It was cool to have like a main character with the ghouls, and even how like they were designing the ghouls, because I think that's what everybody was first like. How the hell are they doing ghouls? How are they going to do ferals? Because we didn't see any ferals. We did see
saw
ferals,
one
but they were like
fresh
ferals. They were not, and one of them was in the process of transitioning too. So
they were in the Super Duper Mart, right? Like he goes in there and he sees that old TV show with him in it, and he sees all the other ones that were in the cages and shit.
Yeah, I feel like those are like fresh ferals, but like you get those ones that have been gone for a long time. And then you had the one guy that they come across where the butt jerky came from. That ghoul, though, I like him.
I'm going to do that because one of these days I'm going to do this cosplay, and I'm going to have a gallon Ziploc bag just in my hand, and I'm going to write in Sharpie. I'm going to write butt jerky on it. I'm going to stuff beef jerky in it. I'm just going to walk around the con eating that. And it's...
Hey, we're getting nachos. You want anything? No, thank you. I'm good.
Nah, I got butt jerky. I'm fine, man. Oh, there's the other picture. I'm like, I imagine that's what it feels like trying to do drugs in Fallout, where I'm just like, I don't want to do... I don't know. I know it has... This is a disclaimer. This is not real. It's a video game. I'm sure the drugs have benefits because they do. Some of them help perception, your focus, your speed, all the other jazz. But I'm just like, the other thing about Fallout is I'm pretty sure there is addiction. You can get addicted to stuff. Also, even like gambling and alcohol, I think you can get addicted to, and it does.
Yes.
It's an RPG, so there's a lot of things that can happen in this game too. And I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with that. So, to be fair, the hell was I? Yeah. So anyway, like he said, we have like 3. Get out of here! I don't want to rate. How would I rate Fallout? Is there more than 10 stars? No, get away from me. Okay. But you have these 3 characters kind of going on their own journeys and ending up finding each other, right? You have Lucy, who I'm pretty sure. There it is. She's doing the classic Tales Old as Time with Fallout is, oh no, my dad is missing. I'm going to go find him, So, but there's more than meets the eye with this dude. So as you find out, he's been there the whole time. He's not actually that age, he's been around before the apocalypse. So, this guy's got some other shady stuff going on. But, yeah, he gets yoinked out of the vault. And, of course, Lucy's going to go off on her grand adventure to go find him. Like I said, like with Max, you kind of got him navigating the whole the whole thing with the Brotherhood of Steel, which I thought was kind of a cool. I wonder if we're gonna do more with the Brotherhood, because
yes, we are.
The different chapters of the Brotherhood on the West Coast, and I'm gonna start getting nerdy on you guys, on the West Coast and the East Coast, have like highly different ideals, different priorities of what they're trying to do. And it's like, ironically, the Brotherhood outcasts, the one that they just kind of shunned, were actually the ones who were more like with the original mission, like their original MO, but they get shunned out because it's like, no, now we're doing this. It's like the power struggle with these guys is insane. And again, like, they're widespread. They're in California, they're in DC, they're also in Vegas, but we'll talk about the Vegas ones because they can go die in that hole. And trust me, I am someone who has a tattoo of the Brotherhood of Steel. I love these guys, but maybe not those guys.
Yeah, there has been it's been confirmed that Kamali Nanjiani.
Yeah, I just saw the name. I don't.
From the he's done everything from the Eternals, voice work, a lot. I think he's a high-ranking official within the Brotherhood, so the Brotherhood definitely does play a role.
Awesome.
So he'll be in there, which makes me kind of curious. What other characters are we gonna or actors are we gonna see make like an appearance? Like, yeah. I'm curious because we had the guy who did the Mr. Handy voice, and he's done everything from like what we do in the shadows to so much voice work and characters in movies. And I'm like, okay, so he does the voice for the Mr. Handy, who's doing the voice for the House's robots. I can't think of the name.
The Securitrons.
Yes. I wonder who's going to do the voices for those.
No.
So I'm eager. Because there's different types of Securitron. You've got like the cowboy. You've got like a nurse, I think. You've got the security guard. And then you've got the big happy face. So I'm hoping they have like...
You have this guy, Mr. Yes Man.
I'm hoping they have different voices.
I've got him.
Character.
I hope so. And then, of course, rounding it out was the Ghoul, who has been around since before the apocalypse as well. And he's on a mission to find his wife, which I feel like there's something going on, because for him to have still been looking for her, I mean, albeit being a bounty hunter and eating butt jerky all day, he's obviously something. For 200 years, you're wandering the wastes. You probably know something.
He's looking for his family, so I think he knows that they probably were in a vault.
Something's not right.
Something
because
like
his
cryo or whatever they got going on.
Because his wife worked for Vault-Tec, so
yeah. So
that would
question, I know a lot of rumors,
reason that they do.
Yeah, a lot of theories have been that the woman from Vault.
That's where I was going next.
There's like
the Vault might be his wife.
That could be his wife, or it could be his daughter. But then I'm like, no, it couldn't be his daughter, because Lucy's dad is the same. It looks roughly around the same age as he was when he's obviously however much older Lucy is from, when he was him. But he's still roughly the same. So it wouldn't be the daughter, because the daughter would still be young, or at least, in her. See, I don't know how old Lucy is. Do they give her an age?
I was thinking about that too. I mean, I looked up Ella Purnell. Ella Purnell is 28, so I was assuming she was in her 20s, maybe late 20s. So that kind of made sense. And then when I thought about that lady who was in the other vault, if that is his wife, I'm assuming if his wife was in middle-aged-ish, right? And I'm looking it up now. I'm trying to find that vault, because her brother goes into that vault that they came from and finds out. I think you're right. Isn't it kind of something like in Fallout 4 where they have a cryo?
Oh, it was just rows and rows and rows of cryo chambers
of people. That I think they
being guarded by the little, what was it, Bob's bud or whatever.
Yeah, the little guy. Bud
So it's
Askins,
either
director. Oh,
I
Bud.
don't think it's
Yeah,
his wife
that's
because she looks.
Well, I was thinking, but timeline wise, I'm assuming I'm trying to remember. I think Lucy has known her whole life, right? She doesn't know who she is, and I'm thinking like if she's been around for say 28, say going on 30 years, she would be a lot older if they kept her out for that amount of time for Lucy's whole life.
If you could pull up a picture, I mean, I've got the cast list here.
I'm looking at Vault. Sorry, I'm trying to. That's Vault 34. Which one was it? 33.
God, why was Rosie McClain so friggin' hot? Sorry. Just
no. 32. Because, okay, so in the show, it's Vault 31, 32, and 33, and I'm really upset I never got a Vault door picture. Damn it. Vault 32, located in Los Angeles, California. Hello. Social experiment. Oh, it's got all three listed. Sorry, it's all under the same tab. A social experiment consisting of 3 interconnected but divided vaults, ostensibly as extra security from threats, but also for support during times of crisis. Secretly a pet project of Bud Askins, who we've seen in the show, a Vault-Tec sales executive who sought to use the vaults to create a population of loyal Vault-Tec employees to monopolize on the wasteland. Yeah, let's see how that works out for you, bud. Vaults 32 and 33 house normal populations, while Vault 31 house cryogenically preserved Vault-Tec executives directed to go out into the other vaults and indoctrinate them towards Askin's directive, with the truth hidden from the other 2 vaults. Okay, so yeah.
So
it is kind of a we're gonna brainwash people and indoctrinate them
so I was going
so
as far...
I think that his wife was one of those executives. I think it was everybody in that room had something to do with it.
What the fuck?
Whatever.
Betsy is freaking Blind Owl in Deadpool.
Is she? Oh yeah.
I didn't know. So
I didn't recognize her without the sunglasses.
The way I'm looking at it, and I'm not trying to be like weird about it, but I was looking at skin tone because I was like, I know Walter's.
Well, it's a different actress too, so I'm like.
So Walter, whatever his name is before.
Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's something Howard. I know his last name is Howard.
Just like Todd Howard.
His wife. She's like a lighter skin tone of black. That sounds so shitty when I say it. Like, I'm not trying to sound shitty.
No,
and
I know.
I'm comparing the two. It's not far off.
Cooper Howard. Cooper Howard was the girl.
Yes, Cooper. So I'm wondering if this could be his wife. If Betsy, I remember we were like, "Oh, Betsy's probably his daughter." No, I think Betsy may be his wife.
No, his daughter was, I think, a lot lighter skinned.
His daughter was, and she was much younger. So I would say she's probably.
I'm assuming she died. I think she died when the bombs fell, and he ended up surviving, which would suck. And I'm assuming his wife was in. She may have already been down in a vault. Because remember, we suggested in that
she would have just left her kid. You know what? That's what I'm thinking.
Well, Vault-Tec sucks if you haven't realized.
Because one, she chose to save herself than to wait for him and his daughter, or their daughter. She didn't let the fucking dog go, so you know he's pissed off about that.
True.
It's super random, but I love that scene with him and Dogmeat, where it's just like you get to see that he does have that soft side for. I don't want to say animals, but definitely a dog and having that companion.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because it's like he's sitting there and he's like, he's like, you can tell he wants that dog to be that dog, but he's like, I'm sorry, Dogmeat, you just ain't him. And it's like he's not like, I was like, oh damn, he does miss his dog. And like
I've seen an edit
off as he was when she's like, no animals, and he's like, fuck you mean no animals? She's like,
so here,
what I said.
How about this? Fuck yourself. How about that?
I would have been like, I'm staying up here. Me and the dog are gonna be drinking on the porch, watching the bombs drop. Like, I ain't going. Fuck you.
Put a record on. Screw you. Yeah.
Me and the dog are fucking staying. But like, yeah, I just like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, they really could pull that off. That she may actually be his wife. So that's.
I think it's a smaller world than we think. I think that's where it's going.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the daughter did live and he doesn't know it and she's a ghoul. I don't know. Like
we could go somewhere with like we didn't really see the daughter. I mean, I think if we're gonna go with that being the mom, the daughter might have some other part to play.
in the rules of everything, you didn't see a
I
body.
didn't see a body. Yeah, we're going by Walking Dead standards. I didn't see a body, so I remain unconvinced. And then we also have I don't. I already forget her name, and I feel bad because I'm like, oh no, I need to go back and watch the series again. But I don't remember the lady that kidnapped. Well, kidnapped. Remember the dad, and her whole objective was that guy, the doctor from the Enclave, and he had that code to essentially, I think it was to power that bit of Moldaver. I knew it began with an M. Moldaver. She obviously knew Lucy's mom, and she probably knew, again, they know more than they're letting on, that there's some mission of like I think they were doing that to power that part of the wasteland, it seemed like. Because even, well, actually, the mom was there. Remember, we saw mom sitting in the chair. Well past her expiration date.
Yeah.
Awkward. Real awkward.
See,
But
now it's like, oh, I don't know what a feral would look like a real feral. There we go.
yeah. So yeah, Lucy's mom's not doing so hot. I wish I had a picture of that. But she's gone. And yeah, then like I said, boom. Her dad takes off in a suit of armor towards the shining lights of New Vegas. So
I love how if you look at it on IMDb,
that's where we're left.
The actress who plays Lucy's mom, it shows up as young. I'm like, yeah, I would say that is young compared to the much older version that we get.
Yeah. So, excuse me. With that kind of being said about the show, that's where we're at now. And like I said, so now, boom, we're going to Vegas, baby. So that's what leaves it open for the. This is the discussion that I want to have here. So if we're suggesting that the events of New Vegas are canon, what does that mean? Because as I was looking for these pictures too, some pictures are coming up with like they're the picture for the article, and it's saying like Fallout devs or showrunners won't say which ending is in fact canon. I'm like, right, because the thing with excuse me, the problem with this game, which ultimately makes it cool, is that there are multiple endings and multiple outcomes for different factions that you come across, or how much you help them, how much you don't, or how much you put a bullet through their skull. I mean, that's a possibility. Hey, Papa Khan, catch. Chuck a grenade in his little conference room, and boom, they're gone. So, yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. There's a couple big points that I need answered.
Well, part of me
one
is
of which
you're thinking that season 1 touched so lightly on the NCR.
We like saw two, like the was it the dad and the kid?
Yeah, the two farmers.
They had the helmets on. I was like, are we not going to talk about that?
Shit. And that's literally, it was like, like they did what any Fallout character does, and they just pick up the armor.
I mean, do you see it on the side there? On the side of our screen? You tell me you wouldn't nab that immediately.
Oh,
I have cosplayed as that character. That's where that helmet came from. I have done that. It's one of the coolest looking characters.
Yeah, you've got the and then they enter with New Vegas at the very, very end. So the way I'm looking at it is like, is the end of season 2 going to be hinting at Caesar's Legion or something? But like, I don't know.
That's another thing.
That'd be another, like, if they even reference them or have like a skeleton wearing like armor that's like him, or this like they just find like a corpse of like Caesar. But
that's what I'm saying. There are characters and there are factions that I need you to answer. I couldn't find a picture of it, but this right here. We need to talk about the Hoover Dam first of all, because even before you start playing the game, there was already that's one of my favorite loading screens too, by the way. I love that with the Lucky 38 there way back in the mountain peeking over, and you got the Hoover Dam road sign. But there was a battle at Hoover Dam between, like he was saying, the NCR and the Legion. And I'm like, okay, but the point of the game is we're having another battle at at Hoover Dam for control of it. So, and this takes place, if I'm not being punctual enough, the events of New Vegas take place in 2287, I believe, and the Fallout series is taking place in like 2290 something, like almost into the year 3000. So we're about 10 years removed from all the stuff that you supposedly do in the game. So I'm like, that's one thing I need to know is like what happened with the outcome of that. And like he was saying, do we see Caesar? There's Caesar's Legion, who I'm gonna quote this picture right here. NCR and proud. Screw the Legion. Get the hell out of here. I hate you. Quit crucifying people. No, I will not spread your atrocities. I'll spread you with fucking lead. Boom. Tells you where I tells you where I sit when I play New Vegas. I'm NCR and proud right there. Boom.
I still never played New Vegas, and I need to.
What's wrong with you? God damn, I played it very recently. I had a fun time.
Yeah, I need to get into it.
So yeah,
I don't play Fallout 3 all the way through. Like I always start a playthrough and then I just stop like halfway and I'm like, huh? Bird? And
well, yeah, I come back to it and I'm like, what was I doing?
Where am I?
And where did my pants go?
Who are you?
I keep hoping for it. I'm like, can we just have the mysterious stranger just for one stupid moment? He just comes out of nowhere because that'd be funny. Like some guy pokes around a corner and just boom, shoots an enemy for him. Yeah, tips his hat. He doesn't have to say a word. Just tips his hat and says goodbye.
Liam Neeson. It's got to be Liam.
Well, no. Thank you. That segues me perfectly into the next thing. Liam Neeson voices your dad in Fallout 3, right? And his character looks suspiciously like Pierce Brosnan, so I don't know what that was about. But
yeah, I love that.
Look it up.
Liam
tell me
Neeson
I'm wrong.
Played a role in that, so I mean, we could get a little bit of Liam Neeson in there. Maybe
Liam Neeson plays your dad. So that's what I'm saying is there now. The thing with season 2, Fallout, if you look into it, does have a fairly large number of people that are famous actors that have been in this series. And the first thing I have to say is I'm going to show it. I'm really heartbroken that we've lost Matthew Perry, who played Benny off on the right there in the checkered suit. So it kind of sucks because I'm like, I wish, man, just for a cameo, like another character that, again, I want to know, is he going to be around? And I would have loved to have put Matthew Perry in a checkered suit and have him just walk around. I don't know.
You could like bump his shoulder and he'd turn around and be like,
hey, baby, what's wrong? Watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be careful out here, you know. Otherwise, the game is rigged from the start. You know, I don't know. I got to work in that line. I got to work in that line somewhere. But yeah, I'm like, unfortunately, if you do Benny, I'm like, you'd have to recast it or not put him in there at all, which I would think maybe just leave it out. Just maybe not try to explain it. But God, I would have loved for him to have done a cameo as Benny. That'd been sweet.
There could have been like a wanted poster or something up of just as wanted Benny and just have it as like Matthew Perry or something, just as like a tribute.
Posted by the Mojave Express because
yeah.
If you know, like I said, our thumbnail, that guy right there in the armor, that is one pissed off mailman. I'm telling you what. That's the other thing I want to know is like, is there, the courier somewhere? Is there some guy with a big bullet hole scar going across his face? Because old Benny boy there put you on your knees and
apparently
stole your platinum chip that was your job to deliver, and the game is rigged from the start. Boom, shoots you right in the face, and then
they say sorry, kid. Sorry, kid, but
I think he said sorry, kid, but your luck just ran out. Or he said like from where you're sitting, it seems like a 14-karat run of bad luck. I can't remember the other thing he says, but he said that this when he reaches into his suit jacket, pulls out the gun, he says, "Yeah, but truth is, the game is rigged from the start." Boom, shoots you in the face, and then title card. And then you wake up in the doctor's office fixing your face because, to be fair, I don't think he missed. But I mean, in this world with all of its BS, sciencey stuff and medical whatnots, I'm like,
you can reattach a finger.
You can
laser it on, and you're like,
you can reconfigure your face. I will say the Fallout games do a very clever way of segueing into doing character creation, because in 3, you're literally born. You start with being born, and they pull this little screen up that's your life projection of what you're going to look like when you're 20 years old.
That
And it's
was
like,
so fun.
let's see what you'll look like in 20 years. And it's like character creation. I'm like,
Wow.
that's so clever. And then in this one, the same thing. Like you wake up in the doctor's office and the doctor tells you like, hey, whoa, don't stand up. I think I got everything in the right place, but I'm not really sure. Tell me what you think. He hands you this like little mirror, and you like, or same kind of like TV screen. You look at it and you're like, yep, I definitely had a mustache.
Fast forward to Fallout 4, and then your poor wife has to witness your face morphing
in the mirror, in the bathroom mirror. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, no Matthew Perry, but this one, I hope Frank's listening, and I hope he's sitting down. This will make his heart happy. This particular gentleman right here, who is a ghoul, very much like our friend Walton Goggins, he is voiced by none other than Machete himself, Danny Trejo.
I really did give him a mustache and a sombrero.
I tried to do something very similar to having Benny's character and then having Matthew Perry's character and face in the same picture, but this is the best I could do. I'm like, he doesn't look like that. He looks like this. His name is Raul, even though his shirt says Miguel. Don't worry about it. But yeah, Raul the Ghoul is played by Danny Trejo. And whoever edited that picture to make that look like him is a genius, and I love that. But I'm just saying, he is canon to the Fallout world. And I'm like, could you please, for the love of God, put Danny Trejo in season 2? Just, I don't care. Make him a bounty hunter. Make him some sort of wastelander. Make him a ghoul. I don't care. Make him look like that. Give him a big sombrero and a little burnt-off mustache, and you can, whatever that movie is right there, give him 2 big fucking revolvers, 2 big irons. That's what we're all here for. We're all here for the Marty Robbins.
That may be the vampire movie with him in it.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I don't know what movie that is, but yeah. So there's a possibility. I mean, I'm fingers crossed for Danny Trejo. I couldn't get a picture of him or his character because now here's a little bit deeper cut. Ron Perlman voices the narrator in the games and says the famous line, "War never changes," right? Now, Fallout New Vegas is so let me back up. Fallout 3, Bethesda games have their own little charm because they're glitchy and they're quirky, right? They crash every like 5 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but now Fallout New Vegas, if you ever look at how that game was, I hate to use the word made because like I think they duct taped together something that's a game, and it's incredible that they even got it made. Because I was watching the 2 guys watch someone do a speed run, like 2 guys who developed the game, and they're like looking at all the stuff in the room, and he's like, "Oh, I remember making this. Like, God, it's been so long since I've seen it, but I remember doing this. Like, we had to use like assets from Fallout 3. We had to just kind of, mishmash it all together to make something work, and that's what we got. That's what we got this game out of. So, I don't remember where I was going with that, but my brain actually just blanked for a minute. I don't know where I was like. This game is janky. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm not. It's the radiation messing with my head, I think.
Been getting to you.
Yeah. But it's wild they even made this game.
Well,
in the first place.
There it is.
Well, there it is. So, God, I was on a roll there, and I tripped over my own fucking thought.
Stay out late off the M's, man.
Yeah, I got it here because I'm gonna end up like looking like that by the end of the show if I don't stop.
Yeah, I just I'm eager to see what other character or actors they bring into it because it's like you go into it if you don't if there's not like like the main characters, they'll always throw like they had a few big characters that were just there and you're like, oh hey, it's what's her face? I don't know who she was. I'd known her. The old lady who was like, I thought all you sorry sacks of shit were dead or something like that.
Oh, the old lady.
Yeah, I mean, we know her. Actually, I think that was like one of the only few actors that I was like, that they didn't like throw in your face when everything first started. But
it might be. I mean, to be fair, it might be a little distracting if this motherfucker shows up. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, oh my
It
god.
would be like Star Wars.
Say the thing.
Star Wars. They put him in there for like 5 minutes. Now.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Now, excuse me. So in terms of endings, like I said, there's multiple ways you can go about doing this. But my thought was, and I already showed him, would be this little bastard right here, the yes man. Now, with a game as much free will as the Fallout games can be, where, I mean, you can just choose to shoot anybody you want in the face because they looked at you wrong, because, I mean, that's how it goes. Or, they're screaming about how they won the lottery. If you know, you know. Shot that poor bastard in the face. And I took a star caps. Screw him. I wanted to find the Sunset Sarsaparilla prize at the end of the Magic Rainbow, you know. But this man right here, the yes man, is kind of your like fail-safe ending to the game, kind of the neutral. You're not picking any sides really, or you try to go to him and say like, "Hey, did it work out with this faction?" No, okay, that's fine. Next one, go talk to these people. Didn't really work out. Next, you know. So he's kind of like the neutral ending to the whole game. So I wonder if maybe that's where they'll go. Because otherwise, you're going to have to throw in some pretty big changes here. Like that really... What am I trying to say? Like, it's going to be weird. Like I said, because if you have a game where you can do all these things, that's not as maybe as linear as 3. Because 3 is a pretty straightforward, you know... Well, there's 2 endings, I guess. I guess technically you could have the Brotherhood of Steel person go in and flip the switch to turn the water purifier on at the end of 3, or you could do it. The point being was the punchline is you die because there's massive amounts of radiations in the machine leaking. So whoever goes in there and turns that code on is dying. But still the same ending. Everybody gets clean water in DC, and it's happy ending for everybody. But this one, I don't know. Where people are going to be, where these factions are going to be, either they're going to be dead or alive. That's where I'm curious. So I know we talked about it. We can't talk about New Vegas without talking about this bastard as well.
Walt Disney?
Yes. Because to be fair, look at I have said that so many times. I'm like, screw you, Walt Disney. You know what I do? I see this dude here. I walk in. I don't even bother. I turn to the left. I go down the hallway. Past the Securitrons, because they're not going to mess with me. Open the door. And I see this little bastard. For those of you who don't know, that is actually Mr. House. That is his actual, he went from that to that. Shriveled up and on a lot of life support. So that's what I'm saying is like this guy is very integral to this story of New Vegas, who pulls a lot of strings. That's why there's that joke, and that's why that was my quote for this show is the house always wins, because that is his quest line. But for a man to have that much drive to stay alive for 200 years, he's got some stuff going on. So I wondered if, like I said, that vault was maybe a hint towards, this, because like this is keeping him alive for all this time. And we had these and then we had Fallout 4, where you had the cryogenic frozen popsicle vault dwellers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this guy, I feel like right here could be a pretty good contender. I think it'd be a really dumb thing to not have him involved in the show, because right here you showed him, or at least someone, someone who's supposed to be Mr. House. Yeah,
he's got a name tag.
Well, Robco, I mean, is the company he...
No, I meant like on his shirt, he has a name tag.
Oh, I was like, yeah, well, I was like, he represents Robco. Oh, yeah. So I think he's going to stick around. Because, excuse me, because this guy right here, he's basically got his consciousness like uploaded into this big supercomputer. And this is Yes Man specifically, but his Securitrons look just like that. And they have like the cop, I think there's like the cop face, like the security guard.
Cop, sheriff, and I think a nurse.
Yeah, I think there is one nurse. And then, so if you go with his ending, all those Securitrons flip, and they're all basically, controlled by Mr. House, and basically now he controls the strip, the Vegas Strip, because I mean he's got these Securitrons, his consciousness linked to all of them, so now he kind of rules the place with an iron fist, basically. So that's kind of an ending that I'm wondering if that's how it goes. Because like I said, you don't have to do that. Like I said, I walk right in, I don't even say hi, I turn left, I open that pod, boom, pull your plug, and I shoot him in the mouth, and I walk out. It says quest failed, but I don't care. I don't have to do it. That's what I'm saying. That's the free will of that game, which is kind of funny that you don't really have to follow any sort of path. Like, and I'm not going to go find your snow globes for you. Mr. House has a weird obsession. You're laughing. He has a weird obsession with snow globes. There's like hidden snow globes all throughout the world that you go find and collect for him, and he gives you caps, I think. But
hey, we all have our hobbies.
After 200 years,
where am I at? I'm pointing the wrong way. See, we all have our hobbies.
yeah, you can see behind me. After 200 years, I mean, I'd have to have a hobby too. I don't know why there's all these snow globes. And I know this is going to be your favorite subject, but we got to talk about some of these monsters.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about some of these monsters in New Vegas. Now, we had the Gulper in season 1, which is like a fingers in the mouth. And
think of a normal hellbender, but like on 2 legs, but then they decided to make it a axolotl instead with phalanges in its mouth. We got the Yaogwai.
Well, I didn't get that. We have these little bastards right here.
Oh, the Cazadors.
The Cazadors. You don't know hell until you tried to fight a Cazador. Now, I know for like, if I could try and give somebody some scale, that thing is probably
the size of a small dog. Or no, large dog.
Its body might be about the size of like a large sized dog. It's got probably a 5 or 6 foot wingspan. Now these things actually, excuse me, they exist. I have seen one of these in real life. Obviously not this one. Duh. Radiation just makes everything bigger. That's the problem. It's already a real thing. It probably fits about the size of the palm of your hand. Because I've seen them, and I was out west in the Southwest, and I saw one of those. Being drugged, which was scarier. He was being drugged by this spider about of equal size. I just saw this big mass going across the ground, and I didn't realize, I'm like, I don't remember what it's actually called, but it's a Cazador. Hey, you're dropping your caps over there.
Sorry.
And I saw this thing being like dragged across the ground by like a spider. They had some big fight, and I was like, that's scary. I'm sitting here
lost.
I'm like, yeah, the fact that this thing lost a fight to this spider, I'm like, that terrifies me even more.
And I think
but if anybody wants a hint, again, like I was mentioning before, Fallout is basically duct taped together. These things don't have the greatest pathing. Honestly, if you just walk up a hill, they can't. The game program can't figure that out. Now, if you try to straight on take these things or try to run away, they will chase you down, and you were going to have a bad day. And you better hope that you saved sometime soon.
There's usually at least 2 or 3 at a time. They're never by themselves either.
No, like I said, in the background of this picture, you can see one off there to the right. But yeah, honestly, it's a dumb game mechanic. This game came out in 2009. Just go up a hill a little bit. They can't quite figure out how to path their way up a hill. And take a big 50 cal and just launch it right into its head. Because go to the gun runners, grab yourself an anti-material rifle, and take a pot shot.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Probably get those. I don't know if we're gonna get like a gecko. The way I look at it is like the gecko is like to Fallout New Vegas as the mole rats are to the other games. Like it's just kind of like they're not like
rad roaches.
Yeah. We've gotten rad roaches. We've gotten the Yaogwai. I would say it would be not. We are getting a death claw, which I am beyond.
I was say, well, here I couldn't find one from Vegas, but here's one from Fallout 4. This big behemoth, right
which is going to be the design we get based off of the model they had on set, the head model. It was just like a foam head, but it is got the same horn shape. We saw the skull when McClane was walking in the power armor, so we do know it's going to be the Fallout 4 now, which is a shame because if we get like Mirelurks, we're not going to get my favorite style of Mirelurk, which is the like bipedal crab.
Yeah.
Instead, we'll be getting the Fallout 4 style, which is like it's like the 4-legged crab, so it still has the arms, but it's not that like. I don't know. It's just I loved Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas' version of the Mirelurks, and then you get the Mirelurk King, which they love making look like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Well, I'm not mad about that at all.
It really does. They're kind of horrifying if you try to swim through the water. My God, yeah, they do.
I don't know which
look
is
like
scarier though, like the Mirelurk King from 4, which looks more or less, I'd say, like a dinosaur version of the creature from the Black Lagoon, or you get the Mirelurk King from 4 and New Vegas that straight up looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. It just has a tail. It like stands upright. It's like, I'm like, okay, that's badass. So, I mean, it's a shame we won't be getting that style. But, you know, of course, with the Deathclaw, I'm super excited. I don't know. I think we got maybe one shot of a Brahmin in season 1, and I think it was just there for a moment when it was seen walking on screen. So I'm like, I would like to see more Brahmin. I would love to see super mutants. I'm sure that would be a lot harder to do than a Deathclaw, because that's an actual actor right there.
Yeah, I was like, also that is accurate. If you kind of perspect yourself into looking up at that thing, that's about how big that fucker is, and it's not a good time.
They pick you up with them hands, and they slam you down,
and Frank had a good point. He better come in on a Rancor. Talking about Danny
Trejo. Yeah. What if Danny Trejo is a Deathclaw Wrangler?
I was about to say, I'm like, well, since we have the Deathclaw up here, which is kind of your Rancor stand-in, I'm like, what if he comes in wrangling a fucking? Because you can do that in 4. You can control Deathclaws. You can kind of do that in well, it's in 4. There's a perk where you can
make them work for you for a short time.
I can't remember if it's like the animal friend perk or it's a certain that and then your special stats.
You point at them, you can hold people up and they'll like put their hands up. But
you like point at them and like direct them.
Yeah, and you can direct them to be like, you know, fight that. But like there's like unique dialogue and everything if you like control animals or something like like with the Deathclaw, it's like go get him, girl, or have at him, girl, and it's like it's always a girl. But I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to lift up the Deathclaw skirt.
Is what they do? They go up and lift all the Deathclaw skirts up.
But I always love that because one of the mods I have installed on my game for Fallout 4 is called Beastmaster. So you are able to tame any creature in the game, and I always tame a Deathclaw.
Obviously, spared no expense.
And the only problem is it's so awkward to like. You have to go up and you have to be in just the right spot to talk to it because it is horrible to get that angle. But
you have to do the Chris Pratt like
so like
whoa.
Yeah.
You have to do the Chris Pratt hand.
No, that's actually what you do. You'll go whoa, and I'm like, I love it.
Whoa.
But they hold on to the dialogue, so anytime I would point and be like, go get him, he'd be like, go get him, girl, and I'm like, see, I love that. I love that little like I name it, but it's so cool though. I'm excited to see how they're gonna do it. I mean, it's just gonna look like a super high res Deathclaw from 4. So I don't know. I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to see it. They did an amazing job with the Yawai. That was probably one of my most favorite scenes. And I thought it was funny that he killed it in like one shot or something. That's why we were like his luck.
I think that was a critical hit in VATS because there's no way you do that with one shot.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
So we got those, and then we got our ghouls. So I'm sure we'll get more ghouls. But
and the thing is about the Deathclaws in Vegas, I'm like, they're pretty akin to Vegas because remember, there's a whole quarry full of these fuckers.
Maybe that's going to be involved with what they showed in those pictures of like the whole town looks, or all of New Vegas is fucked and the Lucky 38.
Maybe they got out. Yeah.
So I think maybe if they're really focusing heavily on the Deathclaw. Because even in the credits that like you and I were talking about beforehand, when they're panning out, there's a skeleton of a Deathclaw. And I mean, these things are fucking huge. This had to be like a matriarch or something, but it was fucking massive. And there's skeletons on the ground with NCR helmets. So it's like, okay, this happened a while ago. So it's like, is the credits what happens at the end of season 2? Like, where are we at here? But, and there's like a vertibird, or it wasn't a vertibird, but it was whatever the NCR used.
Was it like the ones the NCR used? To To be fair, I was trying to. Oh, actually, I do have it. Hold on. Let me find this picture real right quick. Where the hell? I don't know why I can't see. I think it's this one. To be fair, what throws me off is that there are NCR heavy troopers that wear something that looks very close to an NCR or Brotherhood of Steel outfit.
I was a little confused at first. I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah,
no, they do. They do wear those.
So yeah, you got the Deathclaw corpse, the skeletons of all the people around it, and then that I'll say a vertibird is crashed as well. So if you go back and watch the credits, they focus heavily on it. Like it's on screen. You see it. It's slowly backing up. And
remember, also canonically, the NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel did get into a war.
They did.
Now, this is the funny thing. So there's going to be spoils of war everywhere. I'm sure there's crashed vertibirds. There's all kinds of, that's probably how they get some of those armor pieces. That's what I'm saying. There are heavy NCR troops, which basically just look like T-51s or T-60 power armors. And then they just spray paint over their logo and they put the two-headed bear and the star on there for the NCR, right? And that's the funniest thing is like the NCR has a massive. They didn't really say this because I'm like, do you know how big the NCR is, especially in California, where they're at? How big that city is, how massive. They had like a structure of government. They had a whole, like I said, they had a whole military of these guys. I'm pointing on the wrong part of the screen, right over here. These guys, a whole bunch of fucking yeehaws. I'm telling you what, cowboys, people from all over the Southwest are in this army, and they fucking beat the Brotherhood of Steel, the most technically advanced, basically tin can Iron Man people. Sent them fucking running. Isn't that fucking wild?
So you don't fuck with the Old West, dude.
That's what I'm saying. These cowboys straight up kick these tin cans out, and I love that. Now, I do love that about the Ghoul, that he used to be one of them. So I'm like, that is kind of funny. He used to, they wore that armor in the actual military.
What do you say? A weak point underneath?
A weak spot between the two plates. He boom shoots him. He's like, yep, guess they never fixed that.
I'm like, yup.
I was like, okay, here it goes.
I just love if you watch that scene when he does that. Every one of them kind of like their body stance. Like I think two of them look over like, oh shit. I was like he's not lying. Like, oh, I love that part. But
and one last monster that we haven't talked about that's also all over New Vegas. Giant rat scorpions.
Oh my god. Gotta
giant rat scorpions.
Arachnids in there. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's again. If you saw season 1, I mean, that thing is probably about the size of the Yaguai. It's probably about the size of a bear.
Do we see
those are horrifying?
Do we see a rat scorpion in season 1?
I don't know, because I mean, in that environment, I mean, they're in California. They do go pretty. Well, he used the armor to get to Vegas. I mean, it's kind of a trek, but
why do I feel like we did?
I don't know. Well, I'm like maybe not a giant one. If we did, I cannot remember. But these, I wonder if these might make an appearance. That right there is also an anti-material rifle level threat. That is, you're getting a 50 cal right through your noggin. I'm not dealing with you. Yeah, trust me. Like, go to the Gun Runners. The Gun Runners shop has the best guns. If they don't have something you like, just wait 3 in-game days and the inventory recycles. Yeah. There is, and here's a tip for anybody if you haven't played this, there is a glitch to get infinite caps. Maybe I won't explain it, but just trust me. So really there is no reason in New Vegas not to have the biggest gun, the most amount of 50 cal ammo you can carry. Maybe you like a 308 rifle on your back as well. And of course, as you see on the right there, you got to have the big iron. You got to have the big revolver, like the 45-70, to really put a hole in something.
Have that on your hip.
You always got to have the big iron. You got to do.
Well, I for one, I'm extremely hyped for this season. I mean, we only have to wait till December, which I'm sure is going to be here quicker than anything because it always does.
I guess. Hold on, I had this joke in my back pocket. I guess you could say it's going to be a nuclear winter, baby. I can't leave it without the joke. Patrolling the Mojave always makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Oh, I love it.
When they said December, I'm like, you knew what you were doing. It's going to be a nuclear winter, isn't it? If anyone knows, obviously Skyrim, that's basically the equivalent to taking an arrow in the knee. That's Fallout's version. That's Fallout's version of the joke. Is patrolling the Mojave makes you wish for nuclear winter. Don't we all? Because I'm sure it sucks. That was fun.
It was.
I think we got some pretty cool shit out of this, and a lot of questions that I'm curious to know the answers to. Because, like I said, this is in its own time frame. It's the furthest in the timeline of the events of Fallout that we've had, so it can be original but still be within its rules. But like I said, now we're putting ourselves into a corner by doing New Vegas. So with that comes more questions, because really Fallout 1 was the one that took place in California. So I'm like, yeah, but you're way still far removed from that. All you need to really know is, like I said, the NCR is probably like the biggest governing body of that area. And
yeah.
Which it didn't really show, which I'm kind of shocked. So I wondered what that was about.
Time will tell.
There's not really a whole lot of trivia. That kind of sucks. Which, I mean, for the show, I can kind of maybe end with that. Well, like I said, the series is set within the same continuity as the video game franchise, but will be an original story. Yeah. Executive producer Todd Howard, and Todd we trust, said he wanted to avoid adapting the video games, ironically. To note, Todd Howard is not the original creator of the Fallout game series. That's true. He's from Bethesda, who did 3 onward. Yeah. The town of Philly, which is where we started, where all the characters met up, is called that because it's built on a landfill. It has nothing to do with Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Wah wah. Cooper Howard's fictional Western film, A Man and His Dog, is a reference to the Harlan Ellison short story, A Boy and His Dog, adapted as A Boy and His Dog from 1975. The post-apocalyptic story of a boy and his telepathic dog are a huge influence on the Fallout games, particularly the character of Dogmeat. Well, yeah, or Mad Max. You always got to have your dog companion in the apocalypse. I mean, that's a rule. Despite Vault 33 existing in the same area where the first 2 games are set. Okay, so I was wrong. I'm sorry. 1 and 2 take place in California. Vault 33 is never seen in either of those games. While some erroneously regard this as a plot hole to the show, one of the game designers from Fallout 1, Jesse Heinig? Is that you say his name? Said, "We didn't have a definitive list of vaults during the development of the original game, and the creation of new vaults in Southern California for the TV show 25-ish years later is way outside the scope of anything that we had planned originally. There's a number of reasons that the Master, who's yet to play the old games, the Master is one of the bad guys, might not have any record of a vault right under their noses, since there's no guarantee that the Master has access to an actual complete listing of every vault." A tidbit, if anyone ever wants to read, it's all posted online somewhere, the Fallout Bible. Trust me, read that whole story. It's basically like one of the guys who made the games, and it's like, yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, we didn't actually have any of this plan, and this kind of happened this way. And this is before Fallout 3 even happened. Like, all these things were, they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants. And it's really fascinating to watch how it all came together and watch him like describe how this all played out. There's 7 more. Well, I'll say the Vault Boy imagery, which was created in the video games, now has an origin story. Yeah, it's Walton Goggins' character for some reason. That's really weird. Oh, the Vault Tech number shown in the commercial does actually work. If anyone did try that, maybe watch the volume on your phone when you call that number, because somebody's going to scream in your ear. I'll warn you now. The dog that is featured in the series is a Belgian Malinois. Can't ever say that. Known for their intellect and trainability, and they work regularly with law enforcement and military. I'm like, yeah. Dogmeat is always been kind of a mutt, like a mix of things. In 4, he was just a flat out German Shepherd, which fine. But I was like, nah, this Dogmeat is definitely a Belgian Malinois, because he's slimmer and he's Like that dog we saw in
Breed
John
that
Wick.
I am not a huge fan of. I avoid them when I can.
I mean, they can be terrifying. If we saw John Wick, Halle Berry had those guys trained pretty well. They will bite you. Ella Purnell, who played Lucy, played the Fallout games as a way to prepare for her role of Lucy, which is awesome. I love that. And I'll add this, but on the contrast, I mean, Walton Goggins said no, he didn't want to because he didn't want it to kind of like influence him. Like, he's like, I'll just play this and kind of play it how I, how it's presented to me. I was like, that's kind of fair. I can see both points. Like, maybe play the game, just kind of get a feel for it, but also I'd be like, no, don't. I wouldn't want to get in my own head and be like, it's got to be like this,
Yeah.
During the end credits of each episode, it foreshadows an event or location of what will happen in the next episode. True. That's a big one. I don't feel like reading. So, yeah. I'm sorry. Too long. I actually didn't read. So, anywho, yeah. I think that's we've probably beat this. Yeah, we've beat this two-headed Brahmin to death. So I think we'll hold on. I gotta get that picture again. We'll just mosey off into the sunset. Another day in New Vegas.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
We even have season 3 to look forward to already. So,
yeah. So come December, we'll definitely be here, breaking it down, and I'll be nerding the absolute hell out on all of this. So, that being said, Mr. Brooding Gamer, what do you have going on the interwebs?
Well, part guest. We have Jurassic World Rebirth coming out in just a few short months. I believe, actually, May, June, July, 2 months. We are 2 months away from Jurassic World Rebirth. So I have been covering just about as much Jurassic World Rebirth content that I can. Of course, always doing some toy hunts to prepare for the massive wave of awesome merchandise that we're going to be getting alongside Jurassic World Rebirth. Because as you guys can see, I'm a bit of a collection, and I'm my own tattoo nerd. So we're always covering everything Jurassic on my side. So yeah, that's where you can find me at Brooding Gamer.
His link is down in the description, and I just realized, thank you for the segue, because I forgot a picture. Dinky the Dino.
There he is.
I totally forgot about that in New Vegas. My bad.
Hopefully,
I need a
statue of that. That is what I want for Christmas, is a statue of that dinosaur.
They have plenty in the gift shop, don't you know? I said there's like 1,000 of them in there.
We got to take a trip.
They're trying to get rid of them, I think. Yeah, Dinky the Dino at Novak. That's something else I want to see, because you know what's kind of badass about that? Inside the mouth right there, that's actually you can go in that structure. At like the base of his tail, there's a door, and there's a gift shop in like his tummy. And then you go up the ladder, and you can kind of see the door in his mouth. There is always a sniper on watch inside that dinosaur's mouth. There's a night guy and a daytime guy. The nighttime sniper does become your one of your companions. It's pretty badass. Who's also voiced by the guy who voiced Max Goof from the Goofy movie of all things.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He does a lot of voices in games. He does a lot of Skyrim too.
I'm just saying, give him a little red beret and some aviators. Strap a rifle over his shoulder. There's Boone. We got a companion.
There we go.
As for me, now that I've exhausted all those pictures finally, yeah, I'm always here Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know why I almost said Wednesday. I'm here Wednesday putting the shows together.
Lord Frank allows us.
Yeah, he let me have a longer leash today. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do more stuff like this. Like I said, he's in the middle of a move, and as you guys know, and doing more stuff. So I don't mind. I'll take the reins every once in a while, and I was gonna say ride the Rancor into the sunset. I'll leave it to Danny Trejo. I'll let him do that.
I'll ride my Brahmin into the sunset.
Be a roving Brahmin tradesman. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what we're doing. What is today? Thursday. Tuesday. Yeah, right. Tuesday. Episode 6 of The Last of Us. We're getting there. We are definitely getting there. I think we're gonna have a flashback episode. Get the truth dropped on us about what happened. Ellie's gonna find some stuff out she didn't want to hear. We might.
She's adopted.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we might get some. We might get a character death, if not this next episode or the last one. I hate to say it, but I'm like, don't get attached. I think someone's gonna die. So on that happy note,
I wish Joel would get back from his golfing trip. I kind of miss him.
Yeah, I mean he'll wake up and it was all just a damn dream, just like Rick Grimes. He's just been in the hospital having a little snooze. It's just a dream. Hell. Anyway, so oh Lord, I'll play the fucking movie again. Appreciate you guys being here. All the other awesome people that we've had on this channel. Yeah, and please stand by till December, and if not, till Tuesday. We'll be back again. See y'all later.
This is Three Dog. Ow!
Ow! Signing off. Oh, Lord Jesus. This is awkward. Where is it?
Are we still live?
We're still live. I'm sorry. Screw it. We'll do it live. Now we're sorry. Now we're going. We're going for real. Goodbye this time. Goodbye. Wastelanders. Woo!
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.